Saudi Arabia, a nation whose name has been synonymous with oil for generations, is now at a crossroads. The kingdom is betting big on a new future, one powered not just by oil but by high-tech manufacturing and innovation. Leaders envision a day when the phrase "made in Saudi Arabia" appears on everything from sleek electric vehicles to cutting-edge pharmaceuticals, advanced electronics, and even next-generation robotics. This bold transformation is a direct response to the undeniable reality that oil reserves are finite, and the entire world is watching to see how Saudi Arabia adapts. For decades, the kingdom's identity and prosperity were deeply tied to its vast oil exports, fueling economies around the globe. Now its leaders are determined to write a new chapter, one built on innovation, technology, and global competitiveness. Their ambitious plan includes constructing futuristic cities like NEOM, designed to attract the brightest minds and global talent from every corner of the world. Massive investments are being poured into research and development, with the goal of making Saudi Arabia a hub for scientific breakthroughs and technological advancement. The stakes are incredibly high. If successful, this transformation could redefine Saudi Arabia's place in the global economy and inspire other nations to follow suit. Yet the challenge is immense, building a highly skilled workforce from the ground up and developing complex supply chains that can support advanced industries, all while competing on a global stage. Fortunately, with immense financial capital at its disposal and a strategic location at the crossroads of major trade routes, the kingdom holds unique advantages that few others can match. This is shaping up to be one of the most ambitious and closely watched economic experiments of the 21st century. The question remains, can a nation built on oil truly pivot to become a global leader in high-value manufacturing and technology? The journey ahead will be long, complex, and filled with obstacles, but the potential rewards are enormous. Saudi Arabia's determination is unmistakable, and as the world watches, only time will tell if this high-stakes gamble will pay off and reshape the kingdom's destiny. The global trade landscape is shifting fast. COVID-19 and rising U.S. China tensions have exposed the fragility of long, complex supply chains. Companies are now rethinking where they make their goods, seeking resilience over the lowest cost. This has sparked a race among countries to attract new manufacturing investment. Friendshoring and nearshoring are moving production closer to home or to politically aligned nations. For Saudi Arabia, this is a golden opportunity to accelerate its economic diversification. The kingdom is leveraging its financial strength and strategic location to attract future industries. The old model of globalized manufacturing is breaking down, replaced by a more regionalized system. Political stability, location, and government support now matter as much as labor costs. Saudi Arabia believes it has the right ingredients to become a new manufacturing hub. Vision 2030 is Saudi Arabia's blueprint for a post-oil future. Launched in 2016 by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, it aims to build a vibrant, diversified economy, a key pillar developing high-tech manufacturing, from electric vehicles to renewable energy and pharmaceuticals. The Public Investment Fund is fueling this transformation, investing in companies like Sear and Lucid Motors. These investments are designed to transfer technology and skills to the kingdom. Vision 2030 also includes building new economic zones and futuristic cities like NEOM to attract global talent. The goal moved from consuming foreign technology to producing it at home. Through these projects, Saudi Arabia hopes to create a sustainable engine for growth for generations to come. Saudi Arabia's biggest advantages? Deep financial resources and a prime geographic location. The kingdom can fund massive infrastructure projects and offer generous incentives to attract manufacturers. Its location at the crossroads of Asia, Europe, and Africa makes it a natural export hub. Special economic zones offer foreign companies tax breaks, streamlined regulations, and full ownership. Saudi Arabia's domestic market is larger than regional rivals, and its land allows for huge industrial projects. The government is actively reforming business laws and investing in world-class infrastructure. Compared to the UAE, Saudi Arabia offers scale and a focus on heavy industry and high-tech manufacturing. By combining capital, location, and market size, the kingdom is crafting a unique value proposition. It's positioning itself as a long-term destination for global manufacturing investment. The idea of Saudi Arabia replacing China as the world's factory might sound ambitious, but in reality, that's not the kingdom's goal. Saudi Arabia isn't aiming to replicate China's vast scale of low-cost manufacturing, nor is it trying to compete head-to-head in every sector. Instead, Saudi Arabia is focusing on high-value, tech-intensive industries, areas where automation, advanced robotics, and significant capital investment matter far more than cheap labor or sheer volume. For example, in the electric vehicle sector, Saudi Arabia is working to build a complete ecosystem. This includes not just vehicle assembly but also battery production, research and development, and even the supply chain for critical components. The kingdom's strategy centers on vertical integration and achieving self-sufficiency in the industries of the future, ensuring that every stage of production is controlled and optimized within its borders. In pharmaceuticals, Saudi Arabia is investing heavily to become a regional powerhouse and a major exporter, aiming to reduce its dependence on imported medicines and boost local innovation. This approach aligns with a broader global trend. Countries are increasingly localizing production to enhance security, resilience, and control over critical supply chains. Rather than trying to outpace China in every field, Saudi Arabia is choosing to specialize, targeting select advanced sectors where it can lead through innovation, expertise, and strategic investment. By leveraging its vast capital reserves and forming technology partnerships with global leaders, Saudi Arabia is positioning itself as a crucial node in the evolving global manufacturing network. The focus is clear: prioritize quality, foster innovation, and ensure reliability, rather than simply chasing low-cost, high-volume production. Through this targeted, forward-thinking approach, Saudi Arabia aims to carve out a leadership role in the industries that will define the future, making its mark on the global stage. Experts see Saudi Arabia's manufacturing push as its most serious diversification effort yet. The alignment of political will and financial power is unprecedented. Unlike past attempts, the kingdom is co-investing and building industries from the ground up. The global context, U.S. China trade friction and supply chain de-risking, makes this moment unique. Saudi Arabia is offering to be a true partner, sharing financial risk and accelerating technology transfer. But skepticism remains. Building a sophisticated manufacturing economy takes more than money. The real test is developing skilled labor, local suppliers, and a culture of innovation. Reliance on expatriate labor must give way to a well-trained Saudi workforce. Success depends on integrating into global value chains and building deep, resilient supply networks. The ambition is clear, but execution will determine if Vision 2030's manufacturing goals are met. Saudi Arabia's biggest challenge is building the human capital for high-tech manufacturing. The education system hasn't produced enough graduates with the right technical skills. The government is investing in vocational training, but changing a system takes time. Another hurdle: creating a dense local supply chain from scratch. Modern factories need hundreds of local suppliers, something Saudi Arabia currently lacks. Attracting not just anchor companies, but also smaller suppliers, is essential for efficiency. Without this, manufacturers will remain dependent on costly imports. Global competition is fierce, with countries like South Korea, Vietnam, and India vying for the same investments. Saudi Arabia must excel in infrastructure, regulation, and innovation to stand out. Shifting from a public sector, oil-driven economy to a dynamic entrepreneurial culture is a major cultural shift. Overcoming these challenges is critical to making the high-tech manufacturing dream a reality. Can Made in Saudi Arabia become a global label for high-tech goods? The odds are better than ever, thanks to political will, investment, and a changing trade environment. The kingdom is building factories, funding companies, and reforming laws to make it happen. But history shows that building new industries is never easy. Success requires patience, persistence, and a culture of innovation, not just capital. Relying on foreign expertise is a start, but long-term success means building a self-sustaining ecosystem. Saudi Arabia may not become a manufacturing superpower overnight. Instead, it could dominate a few high-value niches, like electric vehicles or green hydrogen. The key is depth, not breadth, and the ability to adapt and learn along the way. The journey will be gradual, with both successes and setbacks, but the ambition is real. Saudi Arabia stands at a pivotal crossroads, boldly betting its future on a sweeping high-tech industrial transformation. The nation is not just aiming for incremental change, but for a complete reimagining of its economic landscape, one that could alter its destiny for generations to come. Vision 2030, the kingdom's ambitious blueprint for the future, combined with dramatic shifts in global supply chains, has created a unique window of opportunity. As the world looks for new manufacturing hubs and resilient trade routes, Saudi Arabia is positioning itself to become a central player in this evolving global order. The kingdom's capital, its strategic geographic location at the crossroads of three continents, and visionary leadership give it a real shot at building a diversified, future-ready economy. These factors could help Saudi Arabia move beyond its traditional reliance on oil. But the challenges ahead are immense. Developing a skilled workforce, building robust supply chains, and fostering a culture of innovation are all critical hurdles. The scale of transformation required is unprecedented in the region. If Saudi Arabia succeeds, it could become a model for other resource-rich nations seeking to diversify, potentially redrawing the global manufacturing map and shifting the balance of economic power. The implications are global. New trade flows, international partnerships, and economic alliances are already beginning to emerge, signaling a shift in how the world does business. If the kingdom's vision is realized, Saudi Arabia will become a major player far beyond energy, shaping the future of technology, commerce, and innovation across the Middle East and beyond. The world is watching closely to see if advanced technologies can truly be designed, developed, and built in the Arabian Peninsula, transforming it into a hub of innovation and industrial excellence. Will Saudi Arabia's bold gamble pay off? The answers to this question will not only determine the kingdom's future, but could also shape the trajectory of the next decade for the entire region. This is a story of ambition, risk, and reinvention, one that's just beginning to unfold. The coming years will reveal whether Saudi Arabia can truly reinvent itself and inspire others to follow. The dawn of a new industrial era in the Middle East may be closer than we think, promising a future filled with innovation, opportunity, and transformation.